Hello folks, let me just move that round, touch. Ooh, I'm tripping over. Right folks, today I'm doing some curly kale. Dwarf green curled. I don't need that much of this because you can keep picking it, so all I've got is a couple of 6 cell trays, and I've partly put soil in, and all I'm going to do is just put a couple of seeds in. Well, I'm just going to sprinkle a few seeds in each cell, and we'll then, what I'll do is then pick out the weaker ones, and basically I'm just aiming for 12 plants in here. Not all for my own consumption, I should say. It says you've got to have about 1.5 centimetres of compost on top of these. There's plenty of seeds in here. There we are. So that's two lots of those done. That should be more than enough for what was prior. The rest are going to go back in here. I think this is one of those seeds where, actually thinking about it, they'd be good for the chickens, wouldn't it? Got to think about this now, haven't I? Better be safe than sorry. Let's do another tray of them. Another cell tray. Well, it's been quite a nice morning, folks. Unfortunately, I didn't see much of it because I was cooking the roast dinner. But now it's the afternoon. It's still quite pleasant. I guess it's in double figures, probably about 12 degrees. I've just had a nice coffee break. I only just got up here. But anyway, we'll get a few more of these done. I was amazed, folks, how many of you watched my little chicken video yesterday of putting them out in the yard. I didn't think there'd be the interest. That's why I put a little information in the text of it, just to warn you, you know, maybe it might be a little boring. I didn't want you to be put off my channel. But anyway, thanks to all of you who actually watched that video. It was quite nice to actually see the hens running around the lawn for the first time. So that's that one done. Put that out of the way for a minute. Just literally going to sprinkle some soil over the top, so it's level with the tops of the cells. I mean, if you read the instructions, folks, it doesn't say anything about growing indoors. It says just sow direct. Like a lot of people at these allotments, we've discovered it's best to grow most things in trays or cell trays or whatever, rather than direct, because you tend to lose a lot through the weather, through pigeons, mice and rats. So it just gives them a better start if you do it this way. And then especially with things like kale, you've got to cover it over a netted area to stop the butterflies. They'll soon devastate a plant. So that's it, folks. We've got 3 trays of curly kale done there. Oh, no, I haven't done that one. I need to get these the window's open, there's a lot of condensation in here. The seeds are going mad, folks. All these seedlings. You can see I've taken more and more off now. They've got to be left off. The ones without the vents and that, even one or two of those I've taken off. But I'll show you around in a minute so you can see what's happening. I'm not going to go into what I'm doing today because plans change. I get distracted and I think I'm going to do one thing and I end up doing something else. And so, and you'll have to excuse if I'm talking a bit iffy. I was, we had a snack last night. We just got some chips from the fish shop, and I must have swallowed one, and it's basically made my throat sore. Must have cut it, you know. So it's hard when it hurts when I talk, and it hurts when I eat. So it's a bit like, you know, when you're ill. But I know it was the chip what did it. Right, I'll be back shortly. Hello and welcome to another video. In this video I'm sowing courgette seeds. Now it's probably still a little bit early for doing these, so but I have got plenty of packs of courgette seeds from magazines and that, so I'm going to give it a go. If it works out, then we've got a head start. If it doesn't, then I can always plant some more, sow some more. So the first one I'm going to do, I'm going to be doing two. I've got a round one here. So that's the one I'm going to be sowing. It says sow indoors, 1/2 inch deep on the edge of small pots of compost. Water well and place in a warm position. Well, I've always done it this way the last few years in the polytunnel. I can't remember when I sown them last year, but I know I have sown them actually earlier than this, but then it was a warmer year, so that was more luck than judgment. On the packet it says so March to May. Well, we're middle of April, so we're going to give it a bash. I'm not sure how many seeds are meant to be in a pack. 10. So let's see what we've got. Now what I've done, as on some of the previous videos of seeds of this sort of size and that, when I did the melons and what else did I do? I did something, I've forgotten what I've done now. But anyway, on the edge of a pot, 3.5 inch pot, I get these from a local garden centre. They usually have them in a pack of 8 of these that were for either a £5 or a £10. I noticed when I was at the Edible Garden Show, just one tray of these, 15, was £5. So maybe I do well from where I get mine from. But they last year after year. I've had these now for 4 years. You know, as long as if it's personal use and that, then it's fine. It's when you start giving things away, then you have to keep replacing, which I probably will have to do this year, especially if I decide to keep some of the strawberry runners, because you get so many of those. So right, just going to drop a seed into these. Doesn't matter whether it's on the edge or whether it's flat or whatever, just drop it in. I mean, everyone will tell you, you'll read all different stories. Everyone's got their way of doing things, and I don't think there's really a right and a wrong way. Right, so we've actually got 7 seeds left, and we've just done 9. So we had 16 seeds out of that pack. On these remaining 6, I want to use the other packet. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put 2 in one of these pots, just to save on a bit of space. So I'm just going to drop one in there, drop one in there, another one in there, another one in there, in there, in there, and drop one in there. Now all I'm going to do is just cover it over with soil. just like that, just cover it. And then we mustn't forget to label them up. Now I've just thought of one approach, because I've got coloured labels. Why not just stick a colour label in each, like that. Just had a shower, folks. and then write on one of the labels. That saves all that writing, doesn't it? So what we got? Well, to make life easier, I'm just going to say courgette round, because then I know it's round. And it's the 10th of April. And I think as long as I remember all those colours, and as long as I don't give that one away, in fact what I'll do is I'll mark it on the another row, courgette round, 10th of April, and there you are. So that's that one done. I'm just going to do my usual date it, 10th of the 4th, and that can now go in my pocket, and I'll put that in the folder. So let's go on to the next one. So the next one I'm going to have a go at is a courgette diamond early ripening dark green F1 hybrid. There we are, folks. This is one from Lidl. I'm just looking for any instructions on the back. It says it's a very early maturing, not climbing courgette. Variety with dark green, cylindrical, smooth fruits, but not suited for cultivation under glass. You've got to drop the seed in 2 centimetres, so we're looking at nearly 3/4 of an inch. It will grow a metre high, and it will grow a metre. You got to place them a metre apart. I only learnt this recently. They use Roman numerals on the back, and it's saying that to sow in March to May. And then to harvest in August, September. Yeah, August, September. Apparently there's 45 seeds in this pack, folks. I don't know how true that is. Is that a joke, 45? Oh no, I don't know where I read that from. It's 6 to 10. So, that's what the courgette seeds are. I should have shown you on the last one, but they are. That's what they all look the same. I'm going to put 2 again in these pots. It's a method I have used in the past, and I've always pulled the plants apart quite nicely and they've always grown. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, there's 17 seeds in that pack. So basically I need another 2. What I'll do is I'll shove those back in there for the minute. Yeah, because I've not got the room for those. I'm babbling, aren't I, folks? I'm sorry about that. Right, cover them over. Do the same again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll write on a couple of them. I'm just going to put little courgette. And just so I know what its type it's going to be, I'm going to put long. 10th of April. I'll put one in there as well. That's it, folks. All I've got left to do now is to do the watering, and that'll be that job done. I think what we'll do next is just take you around what's growing so far. There's a bit more happening. Oh God, my throat. And then I'm going to show you what's been happening outside the tunnel. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, folks. Let's start off with one of the oldest sowings what I've done this year, and these were all sweet peas. Now, can you see how they've faded, those labels? And these were planted I can't even read that. Oh, it's a... can't even read what that says. Sorry, I thought somebody called me. But anyway, what I wanted to show you is these all had sweet peas. I've got this too, what came through. Something what's not a sweet pea. Looks a bit like a Californian poppy. But rather than... I didn't throw these away. You can see that I've got a sweet pea coming through. Just there. So sometimes it pays to, because these were sown back in, I think, February, if I remember right. Yeah, I can't tell. I forgot to put the date on them. It's typical, isn't it? These are Antirrhinum, Black Prince, and they were sown on the 28th of the 1st. And again, the writing's faded on those as well. But actually, they're making quite... they're coming along quite nicely, they are now. These are all the broad beans. I've been given some onions, so I've put those in. Look at that. That's a mouse. Mouse has been at that. Yeah, so that's still early days for those. Now we have got some activity under here. Now these are red cherries, tomatoes. These made an appearance the other day. These were planted on the 23rd of March. I'm leaving, obviously tomatoes are one of the most fragile plants for frost, so that's why that's staying on. But notice I have got the vent open, so I'm going to leave that for the moment. Now look at these are going to need to be moved on soon. They were planted on the 28th of January. Calendulas or or whatever the other name was, calendulas or something, I don't know. But anyway, I like the sound of calendula, so that's what I call them. These here are the pom-pom dahlia mix. They were planted on the 28th of March, and we've got what we got, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, we've got 10 in there. Yeah, or 11 I think. Don't think there's anything happening in here. I think this is just... No, there's nothing happening in there. Up here we've got the dianthus, and they're growing nicely. Sweet peas are looking good. The lupins are growing lovely, just look at those. We've actually, can you see from the other day when I showed you, we've actually now got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got another one coming through here, 10, 11, 12, 13 so far. The rest might come through as well yet. Kohlrabis. Can't grumble with that, can we? Look at that. They're looking good. There's nothing happening in these yet. That was the one where, yeah, we'll have to put that away. Cornflowers. They're making nice little plants. And then we've got some Cosmos Sensation. We've got even more coming through, so that's a continued process down there. More cornflowers. These were from Lidl. You can see how they're sloping to one side. That's because of the light. We'll have to see if we can put them in a different position. Mind you, the board beans are going to go out shortly. In the next day or two they'll get planted. So then some of these seeds that are underneath can be put on the top where it'll be better. Right, let's come over to this side. Right, so we've got marigolds. More no, what are these? These are Cosmos. At least I've labelled them up as Cosmos, and we'll see what happens. Hollyoaks, folks. Wow. I'd taken the top off, but I hadn't looked at the label. They obviously enjoyed the being grown under the propagator lid. Last year I only got 4 of these growing, and I had 3 or 4 trays of them. Now just look at that. We've got about 20 plants already, and there's still more coming through. These are more hollyoaks. These are red one, a beautiful colour one. We've got more in there, so I'm really chuffed about those. Down here, African marigolds, sown on the 1st of April, so it's 9 days on. And I've just noticed, folks, the calendulas, I've got 1 or 2 coming through, and these were only just sown 5 days ago. We've got some melons coming through. 1, 2, 3. Pot marigolds. Cornflowers. Those blight-resistant tomatoes, I forgot all about them. I had them in the other polytunnel, I hadn't watered them. But anyway, we've got 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 10 there. And that's it, folks. I think that's about it. So we've got lots happening. I was going to try and get the early potatoes in. I mean, I'll have to look, see what the time is. That might be the job what I'll do next, but I'll have to see. So for now, I'm going to say bye. I might be back, or I might not. Okay. You can see me, folks, yeah. What I'm finishing off today, I've just put in my early potatoes. Now what I've basically done is I've got some manure in each of these 30-litre pots, probably about 2 or 3 inches at the bottom. I've sprinkled some cheap Westland multi-compost over the top, plunked my potatoes in. I'm going to use some more of that compost just to sprinkle over. I'm then going to add some potato fertiliser, and then I'm going to fill it up with some slightly better compost, and then that will be it. They're going to be left outside here, and hopefully they'll give us some nice early potatoes. So we're going at there's what we've got, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 buckets, each with 3 in, 3 potatoes, and they're our pilot. Okay, so let's just so you can see what they look like, folks. They are. in the past, folks, I would cover them over with about 3 inches of soil, then I'd keep topping it up. But I watched somebody else do it and they just fill it right up to the top, so that's what I'm doing. I'm at the end of the bag, so I'm gonna use this amazing soil just to top up one of the tubs here, and then we'll just go and get a couple of bags down, and I'll fill the rest. And that's basically it, folks. I've got mucky hands, and I've got to put you on to turn you off. Go. Okay, folks, I've got my dad with me here. Dad's doing a bit on the polytunnel at home, which I'm not using this year. Dad's had his sweet peas going since last autumn. You can see, you know, so they were the ones what were grown in those little mini plugs, and they're fine. So that's all those here. But what we've been doing today, and Dad's decided he wants to get the dahlias started. So what we've done is put a bit of soil in these trays. You just put a little bit in the bottom, and then you put your last year's dahlias in there, and you give it a good watering, and you just make sure they keep moist. And after a couple of weeks or so, you'll start seeing shoots appear. And then come when the frosts are out the way, sort of come, well, I suppose middle of May time, you can put them in. And then if there is a frost forecast, you just got to make sure you cover them up a little. So that was the next project what Dad's doing. You're quite excited about this, aren't you, Dad?
Oh,
You've already seen one shoot showing before we've even done anything.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
there. That'll be all right. Yeah.
And Dad's got his potato down here, like I did at the allotment yesterday. Here we are. It's the Ancient Order of Croft Spud Growers Challenge Potato for Julie D's dad. So that's so Dad's got the potato in here. He's actually using the multi-purpose compost, no manure. So potatoes been planted in there. One of these, it's a rooster. We've got to see how many potatoes we can get from this. Now I've got to put some soil over this, and then we're going to sprinkle some of this blood, fish and bone. Then we're going to add some more soil, sprinkle a bit more, and then when it's all full, then we'll just make sure it gives it a good soaking, and it will keep it moist, and but not over wet, and then we'll see how we go. So, you know, so the difference between Dad's and mine is that Dad hasn't got the manure, whereas mine has. So it'll be interesting to see what the result is. Okay, folks, just leaving with Dad's smiley face there.
Bye-bye.
And we'll see you soon.